Finally, Uncle Neely, Big Dog Chico, it looks like we're live and in
Finally,
effect.
Uncle Nick,
Finally.
Big Dog Chico, it looks like
Yeah,
we're live.
live, baby, live,
Yes,
live.
sir.
We've
Hey,
done this a
shouts out.
lot of times. We've done this a lot of times. We've been together a lot of times, but this is the first time live. So mark the date. This day in history, it happened. Sunday Night Live, first of many Sunday nights.
First of many. We're talking about Colorado Buff football and everything else. Your guy, hey, everybody out there, if you're listening, get in the chats right now. Leave your comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know where you're checking in from. We got the pregame channel show jumping. We got Big Dog Chico channel show jumping. So, hey, so, salute to Uncle Mike out there. Hey, we got him checking in now. I see him right there in the chat. Adam, double blessed. Allen out there. Who else we got?
Yeah, checking in from New Jersey, the East Coast.
Jersey.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Alabama in here, as I got my Alabama versus anybody shirt on, representing for my home state today.
Yeah, if I'd known you was gonna rock Bama, I'd have put on my Mississippi shirt, man. We
got the
made
Goonsville on, though. Goonsville representing all the time. Once again, Goonsville Athletics, Goonsville's clothing. Shout out to the guys out in Colorado. Who else in here? Sunflower, Mississippi. Okay.
sunflower, parchment,
Memphis 10,
Orange Mound, Whitehead.
ATL. Oh, now Crystal Wise Williams, always supporting. Seattle, Washington, Fort Worth, Texas. We all over the globe right now.
Funky Town, Fort Worth.
We call it Funky Town.
Oh, yeah.
DF Dub area, baby. Fort Collins. All right. Somebody's at enemy territory checking in. Hey man, and speaking of that, we're not gonna talk too much about it, but that coach was still, I think we said it last week, but he was still, making comments about Prime, talking about what he's not thinking about. Dog, just don't say that, dog. Just say, hey, next question or something. Move on to the next one. Or say, we're looking forward to having a good game when we play them. Don't keep bringing them up. That's crazy.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this, Chico. Now, whereas I totally agree with you, move on.
Move on.
Didn't nobody know his dude's name before he said something. So just keep on saying something. Maybe this is on the shot at it. Just keep talking.
Right.
But what you're not going to do is get Coach Prime or these players or these assistant coaches off message, off brand. I mean, they focused. Right now, practice one is tomorrow, and the focus is getting these installs down for North Dakota State. Then you go to Nebraska. Then you go to Colorado State. So we're taking this thing 1 week at a time. Go 1-0 1 week at a time. But the focus is always going to be the next game.
Well, we might as well jump right into it then. Hey, first day of meetings today, officially Sunday. Uncle Neely is back in Colorado. You had a long day, I'm sure. We're going to get into that, let everybody know how your day went. And all these people talking about they want their kids possibly to be D1 players and such. Hey, it's a lot that goes into it. It's a lot of things that's on these young guys' plates. So, as a matter of fact, go ahead and tell us how today went as far as having the Buffs back on campus and everybody checking in and being on time. No problems. We didn't have any off-season issues with the law or anything like that, like we've seen in other programs. Saw you sitting right there in the middle of the meeting room, filming and soaking everything in. How was all of that, and what time did your day start and end today?
Man, today was day one and wasn't even a football day but for the coaches and support staff, like the role I play, man, it was easily a 12-hour day. I got to the campus a little before 6 a.m. and didn't get home till after 6 p.m. That's mountain time. So straight up 12-hour day. But, your day start. Here's the interesting thing about when it's time for fall camp, big dog. The players have been there all spring. The players were there summer one and summer two. You take just a couple of days off between summer two and fall camp. It's not really a break, but it's just a different energy when it's football time. Because when you're working out for strength and conditioning, you're working out to get ready to do something. When fall camp starts, it is now time to do the something. And so even though people were just here last week, or some people didn't even go home, it was just a different energy in this team meeting versus a team meeting or the locker room or the weight room just 6 days ago. Because people know now everything counts. Like we're getting ready to go do something. all the stuff we've been doing was just preparation to do it. Now the mission truly starts. A lot of people think football season starts, with that first game. For the players and the coaches, it starts when fall camp starts. So you got about 3.5, 4 weeks before the first game. You get 25 practices before your first game. So for the next 25 practices starting tomorrow, it's football for us. So these are easily 12-hour days.
Easily 12-hour days. The exact reason why I didn't want to become a coach after one season, or after that first season of coaching wide receivers at Concordia College back in Alabama. I knew coming into it though, before that, from seeing all of my coaches and how they were there before we got there, and then when we're leaving, they're still there. I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to be a football coach, dog. That's like, I always said, that's like going back to be a teacher. If you don't like school, why would you go be a teacher? If you're looking to graduate, why would you go back to be a teacher? If you didn't like meetings as a player, you probably wouldn't want to be a coach, dog, because you're going to be in meetings, 50% of the time, especially during the season like this. You're teaching, and that's what it is.
And just like you said about that teaching standpoint, the lesson plans, all that has to take place before the meetings. So the coaches have extra long hours. The graduate assistants, the assistant coaches. I wasn't the first one in the building this morning. Coach Prime beat me there, and when I left this evening, Coach Prime was still there. So if the head coach is putting in those kind of hours, and the coordinators, and again, this is all the day before practice. We start practice tomorrow. So you'll do a little strength and conditioning phase, stretch lines, that kind of thing. You have your morning practice. Then in the afternoons, they're in meeting rooms with their position coaches and that kind of thing. You get a full day, but the NCAA requires like a 3-hour break between it, or somewhere in the 3-hour break. You can't just go all day consecutive. But when you still start doing the totality of it, and this is just college football across the landscape, it's a full day, man. When you get into August, I don't care if your boyfriend play ball, your daddy coach, I don't care what relationship you have with football, they're going to be out your life anywhere from 10 to 14 hours a day.
For real, and it's serious. And that's why they Chef Solomon's so important. We saw him in there talk about how he's 7 days a week, 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, he put it down today, man. Dinner. We'll tell you we have a dinner, Chico.
Oh Lord, here we go.
I do a weekly segment on Coach Carl. I just take all the compilations, put it together like this is what we have for the week. But I'm gonna give y'all something that we had for dinner tonight. We had ribeye steak.
Not all the time. Hold on, let's stop there. Not the cube steak like my mom used to buy back in the day. Shouts out to mom. I love you, mommy. You know what I mean? But I thought cube steaks were ribeyes back in the day. They were $2.37 in the pack. But yeah, ribeyes. We talking about real things.
Real deal ribeye steak. Country fried chicken, buttermilk batter, crab legs.
What?
Wait. Lobster tails.
What? How you have both of them at the same time?
Wait. And oxtails over rice.
What?
With lobster mac and cheese. That was dinner tonight.
How you cook it?
That was dinner tonight. Lobster mac, oxtails, crab legs, lobster tails, ribeye steak, fried chicken.
All right, $1 million question.
Yeah.
When you go up there, are you able to pick multiple meats, like multiple items, or how does it work?
It works just like that. It's truly buffet style. You can come back and forth. You can triple up on your proteins, your meats. You can get one. You can get 2 plates at a time, as much as you can carry. I'm gonna tell you this.
Oh Lord,
Shiloh and Jordan Seaton, the crab industry need to get them in NIL. Tonight, man. I don't know if it's a crab left in the Atlantic Ocean. Them dudes went through some crab legs tonight, man.
I saw Shiloh one day get like an order of crab legs. That's all he had.
Oh yeah,
crab legs on his plate.
And just crab legs in Colorado. Shiloh gonna get every bit of it. Man, I didn't do the steak tonight. I doubled up on the lobster and probably quadrupled up on the oxtails because hey man, we out them oxtails over rice. You can't.
See, you did right. You went to the things that you probably won't see so often. Probably the rarest things. You're gonna see steak again.
Oh, yeah.
You might see some.
I ain't knocking it, Chico. We might have steak again this week. I mean, I love it.
Right.
When you get lobster tails and oxtails, it's
You
like,
go off.
what man don't like little tails? Let me get all the tail I can
Easy.
on this plate.
Man, I know. I know we lost one of the Jamaican players in walk on Israel Solomon, but we still have we lost two Jamaican, Israel Solomon and Chaz Wallace last year, but you still have Nikhil Webb Walker, who is from Jamaica. So I'm sure he enjoyed the oxtails and rice. So man, they really eat good out there, man. And we,
Yeah,
like you said, we appreciate that coming from the South.
absolutely.
You know,
Like it's and again, man, it's 7 days a week, 3 meals a day. Got a new nutritionist in or additional nutritionist in. So throughout the building, there are hydration stations right outside the team meeting room, in the weight room, in the locker room. You check your hydration, so everybody's getting their fluids in. Matter of fact, there's no food and drinking in the meeting room, but if you're hydrated, you can bring it in. So they make sure, and like I would say, Coach Solomon, like Chef Solomon told the players today, don't miss a meal. Like, you need to get this in you. We're not providing this, just for show. Like, come and eat, because the work you're about to be doing and the conditions you're going to be doing it in, you need this food in your system.
who is the football player that would miss a meal like this? Is what I'm trying to find out.
Man,
Like,
me and Vincent Dancy, Coach Dancy, we both from Mississippi, both went to Jack State. Coach Dancy, as y'all know, is the head coach at Valley. Right, we come from an HBCU background. We take roll at breakfast because we need people to eat before practice. And me and Dancy sit there and say, man, they wouldn't have to tell me. Like, you wouldn't have to make me. Like,
hell no.
I'm coming to breakfast.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm coming to breakfast, man.
With all
Good.
that variety and they cooking grits too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Come on, man.
And they didn't got them grits perfected, man. Like, oh, then you get made to order omelets. You get whatever toppings you want on your waffle. You walk up there and just order. They bring it to the table. Same thing with your eggs. And that's just the additional breakfast. Right down the line, you're gonna have the grits, the oatmeal, the scrambled eggs, the French toast, the bacon, the turkey sausage, the real sausage. It's loaded. 3 days. I'm sorry, 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. Shout out to Coach Solomon and his staff. But he said, Neely, I'm gonna show out. I'm gonna show out day one, week one. So I went in for breakfast and I put the camera on. I said, man, I don't want to wait tonight. Tell them what we got. And he started showing me. He said, not only that, I got oxtails. They've been cooking all day yesterday.
Damn.
They falling off the bone.
Yeah, all day yesterday. They definitely falling off the bone, boy. Who they eat good? If they eat good, make sure y'all put that in the chat. Let us know. Unless y'all eat better, because I know I'm getting hungry right now. If you eat better than that, dog, I'll tell you this though. That came to my head. I always thought for years, based off of when I got recruited, and I went to Georgia, UGA, University of Georgia in Athens, and that was the first time I saw and experienced a training table cafeteria that was straight for the football team, not athletes, but straight for the football team. And they fed us at that camp for like 2 or 3 days or whatever. And it was nothing but big boy potatoes, big steaks, ate, the best eating I've seen at any college, right?
Yeah.
So for years I've said, hey man, they are on point with how to treat their athletes and stuff. And I'm sure they're still doing it. But if they're not coming like Colorado, dog, then Colorado has now taken that throne as the best fed place in college football that I've seen or witnessed. Maybe it's some other places out there. Y'all can put it in the chat, let us know or something. But man, whoo.
This is a testament, man, to Coach Prime's vision, to athletic director Rick George, and him standing behind it, because all this stuff takes money. That's another thing that Chef Solomon and I are going to do is when we get to the end of the week and the end of the camp, we're going to let people know how much it costs to operate this kitchen, to feed these student athletes.
Excellent segment that'll be.
Yeah, and then Chef Solomon, man, some people, they'll look at their role as a lesser role. Chef Solomon and his staff, they understand how important they are to winning, and they value it. And man, and they love what they do. Like, they love serving and getting food in front of these guys and making sure that people with certain dietary needs, and some people can't eat shellfish, so they make sure they prepare their stuff separately to the side so it's not touching anything else. Level of love and attention to detail, man, it just comes off in the food. Coach Chef Solomon loves what he does, man. He is a chef. He gonna make sure them guys get the good meal in.
Anytime you love what you do, it usually comes across, and that's when they say you're cooking with love, or you put your foot in it, or that's kind of like what soul food come from, right? Because you putting that love in there, So yeah, that's what's up. Hey, everybody checking up in here. We got people from all over. If you're out of the country, put your country in here. Put your city in the chat right now. Run the chat up. If you're liking the live and how we doing this, let us know in the chat right now. If y'all got questions, let me know. Somebody said they had crab legs today. Crab legs today and corn on the cob. All right, Alan C. You eating good out there, ain't it?
Man, shout out to Alan C. Because me and Coach Prime had dinner together tonight, so we sitting there talking. And
hey, that's a flex. I know everybody already know, but that's a cold-blooded skin with a flex on them. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't say that. Everybody can't say that, dog.
Well, I mean, it happens. I'm blessed and such, and I recognize and appreciate it. I'm not going to back off of it. And, for those who think that's a flex, let me flex a little more. Just got on with them before we went live. So, talking about tomorrow's schedule. But we were sitting there, man, and he was complimenting, because we're from the South. He was Fort Myers, Florida. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. He was complimenting Chef Solomon's corn to the person who just put corn in there. And I said, man, it's amazing how we all the way out here in Colorado, but like the watermelon tastes like Mississippi watermelon. It tastes fresh. The corn, I know it come right there in Nebraska, baby, but man, it's amazing how Southern things taste since we've been here. And Coach Prime is like been able to wrap his hands around that cafeteria and say, hey, these are the players we recruit. This is where they come from. And there's two things that mama want to know, three things mama want to know. Where a baby gonna sleep, what a baby gonna eat, and when are the games. It's like, so we gonna take care of the house, we're gonna take care of the meals, and then now we're gonna go out and win some games, man. Brainbridge, Georgia in the building.
Most definitely. That's Coach Nick Williams' hometown, I think.
Yeah, I think he's from somewhere around there.
Yeah, 239. Shout out to them. DMV up in here. Maryland. Spread the knowledge. Unk. Crystal Wise Williams said Kansas City, Missouri up in this thing. We got a game out there, man.
Yeah, we're playing in Arrowhead Stadium because the college stadium is under some renovations. So when we go to Kansas to play, we'll be playing in Arrowhead.
For sure. That's gonna be that's a great experience to have. Have you ever been to a pro stadium?
Yeah. I've never been to Arrowhead though. Everybody talks about the way it's designed, how loud it gets. So I'm looking forward to that trip, man.
Right. All right, we got Hudson up in here. Hudson NY, Buff fan. New Jersey said, what up, Unk?
What it do?
Went to school with Nick. Jermaine said, okay, that's what's up. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 954. Shout out to Fort Myers, as Coach Prime said. Fort Myers, Florida also. And everybody else up in here. Hey, so tomorrow, what's the plan for tomorrow? What you can share as far as what Coach Prime might have told you will be the plan for tomorrow. What are you expecting? It's going to be another long day.
It's certainly going to be an intense day, as intense as it can be without pads. You have to go through this week of getting back acclimated to strength and conditioning after you come off the break. So there are no pads, that first week, but they'll be out there in the helmets, the spiders, and it's going to be a work day, man. It's not like there's no gradual buildup outside of, full contact gearing up to that. So tomorrow we have a team meeting. You'll hear from Coach Prime, be a special teams meeting in there. Then you break out to defense, offense, quick meetings with your position groups. You go out to the field, for a practice. Not sure right now if we're going to IPF to indoor practice or up top on Folsom. As much as the weather's been nice so far, we'll probably be outside, I think. But it's going to be a work day. So you'll see them divided by positions to go through their individual workouts. You'll see them come together as a group, to do some installations and 707 stuff. It ain't no like, oh, well, it's first day, so we just gonna take it easy and do this. Like, no, when it's practice time, it's practice time. So tomorrow is a full-fledged work day. After the workouts, you go to your treatment schedule, hot, cold tub, any treatment you got to do, lunch, take a break, then you come back for position meetings.
Yeah, full day. Sounds like,
full
know what I mean?
So if he ain't texting you back, baby girl, it ain't because he's on the phone with somebody else.
I'm telling you, this is not the time.
In meeting rooms, and them phones are out there on the table.
This is not the time. Girlfriends, shorties, you know what I mean? Friends with benefits.
Yeah, it's a
Whatever else you want to call it.
long day. And I don't care if you're Colorado or Syracuse or Georgia Tech. It's the same kind of schedule everywhere across America when you get in August.
I'm telling you, leave them boys alone unless
Chico just dropped off mine.
Oh, my bad. Here we go. I said leave them boys alone unless you're trying to provide some value. If you're gonna cook a meal, if you're gonna help them do something, if you're gonna massage something, if you want to talk to them, as far as I don't know, bringing some comfort to their life.
Yeah.
But no arguments, know where you been, know who you talking. No, we don't need none of that, dog.
Now, don't put him in a position where he has to say, "Damn, baby, we was doing so good."
Don't put him in position to choose, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
football gonna win right now.
Football gonna win. Thig Pen. Shout out to Yancey Thig Pen. You know what I mean? From Steeler, but Thig Pen King said they got new practice unis. I didn't peep, but I saw the other comment that said, "How did they like the new practice?" From Troy Blah. How did they like the new practice uniform? Did you see anybody holding them up or checking them out or anything?
There's going to be a lot of changes going forward, man. Particularly with this most recent NIL NCAA ruling, like you're going to begin to see practice uniform with patches on them. You're going to begin to see logos on the field with partnerships. So all that stuff is going to be trickling and permeating throughout college football. But what you're gonna mainly see is what you've seen from Jackson State and in Colorado, Coach Prime. He believes in players, getting their shine, and as much as we're inside and covering things, so their social media tags, their @ on the back of the jerseys. So when we're out there filming, make sure you following them and liking them and commenting. It's all building for the program and building for their unique individual brand. So there's going to be some new practice gear you'll spot out there, and certainly new uniforms when the season starts.
Can't wait to see the new uniforms. Reef, you're exactly right. We need some Unk beard products, deep pregame beard washing oil.
Hey, man.
I know somebody out there listening. I know somebody got
it's already done, Reef.
Okay.
I got in the next room on the bathroom shelf about 8 samples that I'm using and supposed to pick the first 2 that we're going to put out there in market. So hopefully before the season starts, I'll have it narrowed down to which Uncle Neely's beard oil is going to hit a shelf near you.
That'll be cold-blooded, like Rick James would say back.
Unity.
Man, you left a mark right on my forehead, man. Charlie Murphy. All right. Hey, see it in it. It should do as a light. Gray helmet. Okay. What was your favorite uniform last year, Uncle Neely?
Oh man.
And have you seen the new uniform? Have you seen the new ones though?
I have.
Oh, okay. All right.
First, the ones with the gold face mask.
Yeah. I think we wore the white jerseys with the black pants.
Yeah.
With that face mask.
Yeah, and then even Coach Prime's headset that game was gold, like the player's face mask.
Yeah.
That drip was hot. Tell you what, I have seen down there with Smitty, some of the renderings that's not renders, they're actual on the computer. Man, I'm not saying that we got the relationship with Nike that Oregon got with Phil Knight because he's a alum from there, but I can tell you this: we ain't got to wear the same thing twice this year. We got some nice combinations, and of course, week to week, game to game, Coach Prime lays that out on the floor, and he decides like what combos we're going with for this, that, and the other. But I think people are going to love what they see with the rocking this year. Colorado Bucks got some dope uniforms. Of course, the shoes going to be clean.
For sure. Everybody's not going to get to wear them off the top. But I think, you know what Coach Prime was really talking about when he said everybody. I think he was talking about the other team players too, because some guys from the other teams want to rock Coach Prime's shoes also. And I know he's not just going to send them out to any and every player. He's going to be a select few you might see on other teams out there that you see might be wearing Coach Prime shoes. And, it won't be a scrub, I'll tell you that much. Is there a chrome helmet this year? Can you answer that question?
I will. Let me give you this hint. Thig Pen. Go back on the pregame show YouTube, probably about maybe 6, 7 episodes ago, and I was talking to Smitty in his office, and just look on the shelf above his head, way in the background. Like you might see a little chrome if you if you look up there.
And a little hint, Jackson State wore chrome helmets.
Yeah.
So Coach Prime liked the chrome, and he won't shy away from rocking it. So I'll say this: I like when they do the matching pants, like the color rush uniforms, the matching pants and the matching uniforms to be the same. So black pants and black jerseys, I like those.
That is cold too.
Yeah. So y'all see, we're live, man. We're answering your questions right here. Join the conversation if you haven't already. Big Pen said, I peeped the helmet in the vid. The hate towards Coach Prime is because the players want to come play for Coach Prime, and they have to pay players to play for them. That's the difference. Prime relate to them all. Yes, he does relate to them.
That is factual, Kobe. Like, the NIL, of course, is a game changer. It is something that's factored into to recruiting. But when you have what Coach Prime has as an individual, when you have what he has on staff and the NFL experience that they bring to the table, the collegiate success they bring to the table, a lot of folks get it that it ain't about the bag. I'd rather focus on the NFL and not the NIL because I can make so much more a couple of years down the road playing under Coach Prime. But there are people who understand that what this man brings to the table is a game changer to what college football can do. And I'm telling you, don't be surprised in weeks, months, years to come when they start changing rules and start saying stuff like, well, you can't have celebrities in the locker room or you can't have an entertainer lead your team on the field. There's going to be a ripple to the Prime effect because everybody else can't do what he does. And the only way to stop him from doing it is changing the rules.
Yeah, some of these teams won't be able to get the local superstar to run them out, and so they're like, "Hey, man, we gotta stop this, man. He's bringing everybody out there to run them out on the field. Come on, but that would be the dumbest NCAA rule ever to stop the shine from coming to any program, like that. So that would be silly.
The challenge they're going to have is not only is Coach Prime who he is and what he does, the commissioner of the Big 12 gets it. He wants more cameras, not less. He wants people to see how the sausage is made and have cameras in the huddle on the field and in the locker rooms. Like he understands branding and marketing, and the more people can see on the inside, the more people just want to watch the overall product. So, I was throwing it out there as some of those things that could potentially happen because people are going to hate because they can't do it. But while it can be done, you can look for this commissioner of the Big 12 and Coach Prime coaching at a school in the Big 12. There's going to be a lot of things happening in college football this season and beyond that you've never seen before. Almost like when you watch the XFL.
I was just going to bring that up.
Different level of broadcasting where you see the reviews and how they talk through the reviews. It's going to be a lot of changes, starting in this conference because they get it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I think, you have to adopt, just like the NFL doing the kickoff. You got to adapt some of the things that the XFL is doing, especially if they're doing it correctly,
Yeah.
And
if it's working, man, if it's getting more eyeballs, that's more dollars. So,
and hell, let me think. I don't know whether you were first, but whether or not you were first or the XFL was first, they got to give some props to you too from the in-game interviews on the sideline.
Hey,
Who
man,
did that before? Especially
let me give props to Coach Prime on that. When he brought me inside at Jackson State, that was his idea for the fall. And now the NCAA has a rule that you can't do live interviews with players and assistant coaches, but that doesn't stop you from doing recorded stuff.
Right.
And so what we were doing is we were getting instant reaction to what the players, whether it was a good or bad play. That's one of the things that Coach Prime stressed. It ain't gonna just be Shador, if you throw an 80-yard pass, it's gonna be if you throw a pick too. Like, we can't just be in front of the camera and the microphone when things are going our way. And the players embraced it, and we had a good time with it. And, you heard it here first on Unk and Chico Live. You might just see that back this fall.
Hey, I will say this. It's very smart on Coach Prime's end also to say this is not just going to be after he throws a touchdown, after the good happens. We're going to see how these players deal with adversity also. And that only helps in the scouting of a player when they're looking to go to the next level. If any employer, before they hire an employee, if they can see how they handle stressful situations before they hire that person, that's a plus for the company. So
that's one of the things I said about Shedeur last year. Throughout the season, when you look at the yards he was able to get, missed 2 games. When you look at the completion percentage, which was in the mid 70s, I think he ended up around 73% before it was done. When you look at all that he did under the duress of not having true protection, under the duress of not playing in a scheme that really was fitting what we had talent wise, I'm looking forward to what he's going to do this year. Because if he could do that, because keep this in mind, big dog, and to the fans out there, the people who pick quarterbacks in the draft and pick them in the first round and pick them in the first five picks, you're picking that high because you got a bad team. And so you need to know that you got a person coming into your organization that can handle adversity, can handle duress, and can handle, being under stress. And if Shedeur Sanders didn't show the world anything last year, he straight up showed that, man, look, I got this. You're going to see my composure when it's working. You're going to see my composure when it's not working. You're not going to see me throw the offensive line, under the bus and criticize coaches or my teammates. I think he showed last year he's the epitome of an NFL athlete and ready to, compete at that high level. Big dog, we're dealing with some live issues. Neely, any reservations about Robert Livingston his first year DC, or do you expect him to knock it out the park? I don't have any reservations, Corey Jefferson. The way Coach Livingston is approaching this thing is sound. He has evaluated the talent that we had and evaluated what they do extremely well. And instead of coming in with a scheme and trying to force it upon this defense, the scheme is based around the talent that we have. And it's also based around the situations of the opponent that we're playing. And even when it comes to the terminology, the complexity of the defense, he has allowed the players, to be the driving force in that. He will tell them this is going to be a player-led defense. I'm going to put the best 11 on the field that I got. And Corey J, he also says, if there is something that you do at an elite level, I'm going to make sure that you have the opportunity to do it in the game. So we will come up with a package that, let's say Chico plays corner and he can come down real fast on a blitz. We're going to make sure that we got a play design that Chico gets to show that he can do that, because we're going to look at what these individuals can do and do well and put them in a position to do it.
Exactly. Very smart on Coach Livingston's part to work with basically what he has in the cupboard. I can't make a meal out of something I don't have.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Chico, that show Food Network called Chopped?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I'm going to make something out of what I got versus I don't care what I got, you got to become this. That
right.
just work,
Exactly. And that's smart on his part once again. Let me see. Neely, another question. Is Ron J coming to Colorado? Who's Ron J?
Yeah, I don't know. You got to give a full name.
Yeah, let me know who's Ron J. Here's a good question.
It is. I don't know now, but it very well could be, the Snoop Dogg Yellow Beezy song with Coach Prime. Like, I won't be surprised if that's it. But he hadn't announced which song it's going to be yet.
Hey, must be the money part 2. Y'all let us know what y'all think about that. I should put a poll up and say what should that be the song. What happened with Ethan Boyd? They're saying, is Ethan Boyd a part of the program? He's not on the roster. Ethan Boyd was the big offensive tackle that came over from Michigan State.
Yeah, I'll check tomorrow. I'll tell you that. I'll be able to answer that better tomorrow. Forgive me for not being able to right now.
No worries. But
I will say this, y'all. Like, sometimes what you see online, just out of just clerical error, even including misspelled, like you see Coach Damian Lewis, his name spelled 50 different ways. So don't panic because you don't see something that sometimes they don't mean nothing at all. Chico dropped, but we're gonna keep this thing rolling. There's another question come up there. So, like I was saying about someone not appearing on the roster, sometimes you just have to wait and see who all shows up and that kind of thing. What running back will be game one starter? Man, look, let me tell you, Adam Evans, when you look at that RB room, think about the turmoil it went through to the spring and then how he was able to elevate once again. Coach Flea, Coach Corey Phillips, Coach Prime, they brought in the players and the talent that they need. It's going to be hard for me to say before we get to pads who's going to be the starter because you have some distinct and unique running styles. But I do think no matter who the starter is, you're going to see 2 or 3 backs depending on the situation, depending on what's going on in that game, depending on the matchups. You might have a guy get the lion's share of carries week 2, and somebody else is getting it week 3 or 4. It's going to be matchup based. Corey Phillips was wearing a shirt to say that I believe with a picture of the national championship trophy. Actually, I think it was a picture of the Big 12 trophy, but still same result. That was a shirt that he made to send the message that he believes this team has what it takes to be able to get to that championship level. As you know, if we can get to that Big 12 game and win it, you're automatically in the playoffs. But there's still a path forward with the 12 spots now that you can get to the playoffs without your conference championship. So you just got to play ball, man, 1 week at a time, get to that conference championship, win that you in. If you're in the remaining 8 teams you're in, rounding out the top 12.
And neither will Coach Sapp be on the field this season. I can say yes for sure. Then they make a new rules that analysts on teams can now actually coach and give on-field instructions. And I've seen Coach Sapp labeled on there as the senior analyst for this squad, not just a regular analyst anymore. Now he's the senior analyst, which he deserves also. So can you just answer that question for them right there, Neely?
Yeah, you nailed it. You have a new rule change that is going to totally allow for it. I do not know, however, as a personal preference, what he's going to choose. There are some coaches who prefer to be up in the press box in the booth because they can see better. And there are some coaches who want to be on the field because they want to be able to press the flesh with the players and communicate with the top and say, this is what I'm seeing. So we'll see which one Sapp prefers, but I'll say this. Guy with a gold jacket, what he brings to that team, the energy and the level of coaching, he's going to be where you want to be. So if you want to be upstairs coaching from there, or if you want to be on the sidelines coaching, but you're exactly right, Chico, with the rule changes, he would be allowed to be able to press the flesh with players out there on the field.
And I think he'll be on the field, and I think he wants to be on the field so that these players can see and feel him, when he's speaking to them in the way that he does. And I don't know if he's a press box guy. I think he want to be
I don't know if
in
the press
face
box
like this.
I don't know if the press box can hold him.
Right.
Last year, he was not on staff. And media-wise, even though internal media, I'm down there probably between the 20 and where the bench starts. And Sapp and I watched the entire TCU game together, shoulder to shoulder on the sideline. And, hey, man, you could barely contain him down there, so I know the press box ain't contain him.
That's another cold-blooded.
He was going to see the Lord don't like ugly. That's why he dropped out. He was going to talk about me flexing, saying I was watching the game with Warren Sapp. And the internet God said, no, you ain't finna get Neely this time. But y'all know he'll be right back on. This is Unk and Chico live. I want you to join the conversation. Love having this. This is going to be something we do every Sunday night. Alan C. asks, are you going to continue Wednesdays with Sapp? We certainly are. The first episode of season 2 will be out this week, which is the Wednesday the 31st. So we're going to do those during the season. We always just talk about what's hot and relevant going on with college football, with the Colorado Buffaloes, any pop culture stuff that's happening. So by the time we record that tomorrow or Tuesday, we'll have a couple of practices on our belt and still got to talk about some of the fishing and python catching he did over the break and deep sea diving. So it's always a pleasure to have him. Hey, first, before we take this question, got to shout out MDJ Original. Y'all hit them up at mdjoriginal.com. When y'all see us rocking the hoodies and the jackets, that's where they come from. Much love to my man Melvin. Appreciate the love. Do I think that Jay Horn will have a breakout season? I believe that all of our receivers are capable of a breakout season. With Jason Phillips, the receiver coach, he did it in College of Houston, where he led the nation 2 years in a row. His quarterback, Andre Ward, won a Heisman Trophy. He went on to play at the NFL, played with the Falcons with Coach Prime. He knows what it takes to be a pro and to be a leader in yardage and receptions at the college level. We have a quarterback now in Shador who has more protection than he had this time last year. Totally think that Jay Horn out of that slot, when he catches on that slant, man, ain't nobody catching him from behind. You know, that he's already made the move on the first guy. Now it's up to a deep linebacker or a safety to bring him down. They miss, he gone. So Jay Horn can have a breakout game in a minute, but what Will Shepard is bringing to the table, what Wester is bringing to the table, what Travis brings to the table on any given Saturday, any one of them can have a breakout. But certainly keep an eye on Jimmy Horn Jr. Did one of the strength and conditioning coaches get elevated to the NFL? There are always opportunities, for the strength and conditioning staff to go to the NFL level, be it internships, short phase or for seasons. And so, man, when that happens, you just wish them the absolute best. Because one thing I'm telling you is going to happen after this season, big dog. A lot of our coaches are going to be sought after. A lot of our coaches are going to be sought after, man. Like winning, people want to hire winners away from other programs. So it's coming. I can't hear you, Chico.
All right, sorry about that. Last couple questions, guys. We'll get from Uncle Neely. It's been a long day. You know what I mean? Uncle Neely's ready to go. Probably have a little yak or whatever it is he's gonna have. And
I'm mad. Look, let me tell you something. you come back to Colorado, and when Allison knows she out there, you have to start hydrating before you get here. It's too late when you get here. So yeah. I've been chugging water all day. This is a 33 ounce. I know I done had 5 of them today.
Damn.
I know. And I'm not thirsty, but I'll tell you who put me on the game. Dennis Thurman, who's now the defense coordinator at Hawaii. Shout out to DT. Much success to Hawaii's defense and their team this year. He saw me putting on some lotion last year, and he said, Neely, hydration starts on the inside. Like, you can't wait till your hands get ashy. You got to drink some water to keep from being ashy at this altitude. So that's when I started chugging this water here. And let me about the whistle, because we had a whistle that's dropping Tuesday morning. So, yes, the whistle is back. It's now season 5 of the whistle. So season 5, episode 1 of the whistle is Tuesday.
All right. Hey, you got a couple of them. Hey, MDJ Original now. And y'all see right up there in the corner, MDJoriginal.com. Make sure y'all get you some. You can get your ad right up there if you haven't already. Said Noop Juice you drinking on.
Man, Mel, if I had some Noop Juice with the Everclear in it, I'd be sweating up here.
Yes, sir. So I saw one more question that we need to get to right quick. It was a better one up here. Let me see. Oh, I like this one. And you covered this on a previous segment we did. Can you let them know? He said, how did you get your job? How did you get your job with Coach Prime? You good at what you do.
First, let me thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. It's certainly a labor of love, and I'm trying to learn and get better, as I go along, and want to partner with anybody that I can help them get better, and it helps me sharpen my own tools. How I got the job was not trying to get the job. I was doing a program at Jackson State that I was totally unaware that he was watching on a regular basis. He got hired or announced as the head coach of Jackson State September 21st, 2020. He didn't come on board, to that COVID season of 2021, that spring. And in that fall and early spring, I had no idea he was watching what I was doing. He called me up one day in the spring and said, hey, man, I love what you're doing. I see what you're doing on the outside. You need to bring that on the inside. I trust you. Develop a relationship with the players. Come to practice. You got locker room access, all that, roll with the team, because I want you to tell our story from the inside instead of guessing at it from the outside. So then when he was offered the job here in Colorado, he said, hey, look here. Don't give me an answer till you see it. So I'm going back out there. Roll with me. Stay a couple of days. Let me know what you think. And so came out here with him. And, man, after seeing what he had in store, what he was going to try to build, he said, we got back to Jackson because we had to do the Celebration Bowl. And he said, well, man, what you think? I said, Coach, you seen Color Purple? He said, yeah. I said, you see how Seeley came out that porch when Suge was leaving?
Yes.
Throw
the deuces.
I'm done with Mister. I love Mister, but I'm going with Suge.
Oh my!
I did big dog. I'm going with Suge.
He said, "I'm up out of this thing for real." Nah, but you know what? To just look back on that, man. You know, because honestly, you took a lot of, and I wouldn't say took because what I did learn from you. No, I'm gonna say this because I want to say it rightly because what I did learn from you from that whole process was, dog, I'm not worried about what other people saying about me, dog. I'm not worried. And I'm like, damn, Neely. I remember, Neely, what do you think about these people saying that you leaving Jackson State and you going with Coach Prime? You should, man, big dog, I'm not worried about that. And that was before we really even, conversated a lot. But I was like, damn.
But I stood on that because I can tell you,
straight up.
On one hand, a lot of the people saying something did not know what I know. Like they're not in the room. And so I'm knowing what's happening. You're guessing at what's happening. And then there was another group of people who it was just out of anger that he was leaving. So it was still a misplaced emotion. And I can't let somebody's lack of information, their lack of knowledge, ignorance, you can say, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean ignorance as in not knowing. Then I can't allow somebody's emotional overreaction block my own blessing. Because I know 7 out of 10 people, if they offered the same opportunity, they were gonna get in the car with Suge every two.
Right.
Just mad at one of you.
Right. That's all it is, man. And like you said, half of them, or a lot of them, I think, were at the end of the day kind of just mad or upset, as they should have probably been, that Coach Prime was, at the end of the day leaving the situation. But, hey, looking back on it, man, that was a great moment in time for our people. It would kind of hit at the right time with COVID, going on. People sitting around was able to see it and kind of get behind it and support it. So, and still things residue, so to speak, that's left behind from Coach Prime down there at Jackson State.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
I'm sure they're still benefiting from to this day.
Very positive vibe. He is. You could say the same for Fort Myers. You could say the same for San Francisco, for Atlanta, for Dallas, for New York, for Cincinnati, for Washington Commanders, and the Ravens. Like anywhere this brother has gone, he has uplifted something and changed, what it was before he got there. And people with the right spirit have been able to continue that, because of the blueprint he left. So ain't no hard feelings nowhere, but it's just another example of, man, you can't let naysayers talk you out of your blessing. Everybody claim they want what's best for you until what's best for you exceeds what they want for you. So I love Chico. That's my dog. He got a new car, man. I'm happy for him. Chico gets another car, man. Now you got 2 cars. What do you need that for? It's like, as long as you fit into the box of what I want you to be blessed, I'm all for your blessing. But once it exceeds that, because I can remember people telling me, "Oh, Neely gonna be on ESPN one day." Okay, cool. Not my goal. I'd rather own something than go work it or something else. But I hear you. But because the path to ESPN went from the SWAC to the Big 12 to ESPN versus going from the SWAC, you mad at it. Like, the path to your destiny ain't always a straight line, and you can't let nobody knock you off your square like that. You got to keep grinding and doing what you're doing. Like, let me give you this because I saw somebody make a comment. Some brother put up a comment that the content we put out helped him through their depression.
Yes.
What if we'd have quit before he got to see the content?
Exactly.
You never know the impact you're having on somebody. And if you let somebody talk you out of what's meant for you because they emotional, man, you can't do that, people. You can't.
You're gonna stiff arm your own blessing. You know what I mean? And we can't be doing that.
It hadn't always been Uncle Neely. That started at Jackson State, but some people at Jackson State, some of the players would call me OG because I wasn't on the coaching staff, but I had this gray hair. So they'd be like, man, ask OG. He know what to do. And then after that first season, then it became Unk because that's like this term of endearment. So,
and let them know. Last thing we'll cover before we get up out of here. We have so much, guys, but we try to get it packed in, within 1 hour. Wasn't even supposed to go this long, but we're trying to get it packed in within 1 hour. We wanted to talk about USA basketball. Wanted to talk about some other things, but since you brought up Unk, I wanted to say this. At what point maybe did you kind of, when you first heard Unk, did you kind of be like, wait, hold on. You calling me Unk? Or why am I Unk? Oh, I'm not Unk yet because
Oh, absolutely.
somebody called me Unk one time out here in Hawaii, and guy was like 6 feet tall. I'm like, hold up, how old are you, dog?
Yeah.
Like, do I
No,
look old or something? Why
when
you
it first
disrespect?
happened, there certainly was like a little pushback. Like, hey, man, hello, man. It's just
Yeah.
Neely. You know, like, I ain't that damn old. You know? But now I just roll with it because I know it's a term of endearment, a term of respect.
Right.
You know, so like Coach Prime today in the team meeting, he was talking about media stuff, and
Yeah.
he shouted me out and said, "Man, you know, where Neely?" He didn't see me in the middle there, and he's like, "Man, you know, he's somebody to get with y'all media training. Like, they know, you know, my role, and that's what they call me. So I love when the players. I have no problem with the players calling me that. Now that has spread to I could be in the airport and people call me Uncle Neely. So I just roll with it, man.
Yeah, it's a brand. Might even go ahead and trademark that thing now, and you know what I mean.
Mel said somebody at the gym called him on. And I
You
mean,
got to flex on them.
people going too slow. They were like, "Oh, you guys be."
Like, hurry up on this machine. I'm waiting on you to get off, Unk. It wasn't a term of endearment then, it was a term of hurry up. Shoot, you taking too long. But good thing, hey, that's a flex right there, Melvin. At least you were at the gym. You feel me?
Yeah.
At least you were there. So get it in.
Let me say this, Chico, to you.
Because I need to get back right.
This idea of coming live on Sunday nights. You know, you got so much stuff that happens on Sunday nights. You know, NFL gonna be playing. We probably gonna have that on the background, talking about that in the future. But people got to understand, this is for folks who want to watch it live, and then you can always watch it on replay. We know there's other stuff you could be doing, but the people who are doing this with us right now, it's appreciated. We're gonna keep bringing content. It's something we're gonna do on Sundays throughout the season, whether it's a road game or a home game. Eventually, we're gonna do one of these. We're in the same places at the same time. So keep supporting. It's gonna keep growing. We committing to Sunday nights live. Unk and Chico. We're gonna keep doing it.
Sunday Night Live, Unk and Chico. Join the conversation. As you see right now, y'all can leave a comment. You might get an answer, you know, or a question. You might get an answer by Unk or Chico right here, or both of us. You know what I mean? If you got anything you want to promote, contact us and you could possibly promote it. You know, we got ads available. Also, shout out to the people who provide us with the frames that keeps us looking. That's the two of the coders in the game. That is right up above, right there.
There you go. Yeah, I like
Glass House.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to find it right there. You know what I mean? The Glass House Optical .shop. You can go there and get you some frames if you want to look right. You know, some of them have medicine in their glasses, as Uncle Neely would say.
And let me say, we say the South, we call it medicine down in Mississippi. Let me tell you this now.
Hey, time out before you said, don't. Hey, hold that thought. I said that out here in Hawaii because you said it. I said, hey, do those glasses have medicine in them? They looked at me like I was crazy. She said, medicine in the glasses. I said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
See, let me tell you what Big Mom was trying to tell you now down in the South. Medicine is also known as a prescription.
Right.
Your glasses are prescribed in this medicine in the glasses.
Exactly.
So, you know, you got prescription. Hey, man, this medicine in them. But what I was going to say is, if me and you, Chico, if we don't feel like we really look like uncles, Stacey Marie Glass House sure don't look like no grandma.
Oh, Lord.
Stacey Marie, black-owned, female-owned business, multiple locations across the United States. But, of course, you can hit up online. You can get your shade game like we're wearing, but you can also get the medicine in your glasses because I'm as well.
All right, and I also shout out to Goonsville Clothing, MDJ Original, of course, and everybody. White Cocoa, coconut water, also.
Oh yeah,
everybody else out there, man. You know, get you some if you haven't already. Y'all check in with us. Make sure y'all hit the like, subscribe, comment. Uncle Neely, let them know where to find you if you haven't already. I see a lot of people already checking in on the Pregame Show. Subscribe to Big Dog Chico channel. If you're on Big Dog Chico, make sure you subscribe to the Pregame Show.
Absolutely.
And fill them in, Uncle Neely.
Absolutely. You can hit us up on the gram, you know, the Pregame Show. When the season gets going, you can use the pregameshow.com for our written articles. And a lot of that content is different from the other social media platforms. And of course, you know, the Pregame Show Network on YouTube, where you're going to see daily stuff throughout August camp and, of course, during the season. exclusive interviews with coaches and players, all leading up to Sunday Night Live with Unk and Chico.
That's right, baby. Each and every week, whether we win, lose, or draw, and hopefully most of those will be, if not all, will be wins. Like Jameis Winston said from Birmingham, Alabama, we're going to eat those dubs.
And then he squinted. James
Shouts out to James Winston, man. But everybody else checking in, having been checking in nationally, internationally, you already know what it is. Uncle Neely, Big Dog Chico, the Unk and Chico live show each and every Sunday. Join the conversation. Until then, hit the like, subscribe, comment, and all the other good stuff. But we're going to be up and about this thing. Peace in the Middle East. Yeah.